How's it going, everyone? My name is George, and I just want to talk about the whole restore the SnyderVerse thing that has been going on since Justice League came out. Well, Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, and just some of the things that I've been noticing from WB. The long strain of announcements that they keep making every day, or rumors that are flying around since Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, such as casting choices or casting announcements, trailers coming out, confirmed release dates, movies getting greenlit. Now, I'm excited for these things. I'm looking forward to the Suicide Squad. I love the trailer of that movie, by the way. I thought it was great. I'm looking forward to Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam movie. I'm also looking forward to projects that were just greenlit or starting pre-production or getting their scripts written, like Static Shock. But it just kind of feels weird that all this is happening right after Zack Snyder's Justice League, after that bad interview the CEO of Warner Brothers and Sarnoff gave, where she said Zack Snyder's done with his trilogy of movies, they're looking to move on or something like that, and basically saying we're not going to release a David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, but kind of confirming there is a cut, it's just not going to get released. Like now you got all these hashtags like release the Ayer cut, restore the Snyderverse. Warner Brothers is in a messy situation. This kind of reminds me of what happened after Star Wars The Last Jedi, where things were happening with Star Wars, Lucasfilm didn't know what they were doing in some regards. I'm not saying Lucasfilm is bad. I'm not part of that kind of movement, but they were handling things in a kind of messy way, not responding to fan criticism all that well, leading into more toxic fandom growing. And you're kind of seeing something similar, except a movie came out that was actually phenomenal, and fans want to see more of it. But Warner Media and Warner Brothers is just kind of they're just trying to negate it. They just don't want to keep doing any more of this. Now, while I'm looking forward to these upcoming DC movies, whether they're Snyderverse or not, and that includes Matt Reeves' The Batman with Robert Pattinson, I think that looks like a great movie, so I'm looking forward to that. I feel like they're sweeping it under the rug. I feel like they have a gold mine, a lot of potential that they're just throwing away. I love Justice League. I thought it was a great movie, the Zack Snyder version. And there's so much more that can be done. Like, if you hear about some of Zack Snyder's plans for Justice League 2 and 3, which could change, like he said, like, not everything would probably happen if he could make the movie, but some of it could still happen. But just hearing some of the things, like, touching upon the nightmare stuff, Dark Side coming in, it's like, we want to see more of that. We also want to see that Batman versus Deathstroke movie. We want to see the Cyborg movie, because Ray Fisher blew it out of the park as Cyborg. He was the heart and soul of the movie. And there are other things we wanted to see, like the Man of Steel 2, like a pure Man of Steel 2. That's a solo Superman sequel. There's just so much we want to see, and it feels like they don't want to continue it, or they want to do their own spin on it. Now, the other thing is, there are rumors with the Flash movie. Now, I'm looking forward to it. Ezra Miller won me over as Flash in Zack Snyder's Justice League. But hearing some of the stuff like it being Flashpoint, and they're going to use that Flashpoint stuff to erase at least Zack Snyder's movies. One rumor saying they might kill off Ben Affleck's Batman in that movie. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. It just feels like they're using a film that we should be excited for to erase movies that we enjoyed. And I don't know how to feel about that. It could still be a good movie. The director is a pretty good director, but it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Now, I know Zack Snyder's plan, spoiler, by the way, although who knows if we're going to get Justice League 3, but Zack Snyder did intend to kill Ben Affleck's Batman off in Justice League 3, but it feels like that one would be more emotional, would be more meaningful in a sense. This one would just be to get rid of him, to just get rid of Ben Affleck's Batman if they killed him off in The Flash. And I don't like that. And now we're hearing stuff like HBO Max wants to continue this. They want more Ben Affleck Batman. They want Justice League 2 and 3, or at least maybe a Justice League series that takes place after Zack Snyder's Justice League. And there's rumors that Ben Affleck could come back, but only if Zack Snyder is still involved. Zack Snyder's open to come back. Ray Fisher said he would only come back if Zack Snyder was still involved. Like, there are just some of these rumors that you're hearing. And now the new rumor is that Dwayne Johnson, who's going to be Black Adam, wants SnyderVerse to continue. He wants to face off against Henry Cavill's Superman. They have the same agent, so it doesn't make sense. But I'm pretty sure his movie was also first announced or was being talked about when SnyderVerse was still a thing, when SnyderVerse looked like the future of DC. So it kind of makes sense, and I feel like the tone they're going to go for Black Adam will be similar to SnyderVerse tone. Now, I'm not saying SnyderVerse tone is 100% perfect. I'm not saying all the movies that are going to take place in a universe need the same tone. Wonder Woman and Aquaman are different tone from Zack Snyder's movies, but they still feel like they take place in that universe. Shazam, which isn't even produced by Zack Snyder, while it's more lighthearted and family friendly, it still feels like a SnyderVerse movie, even though it's more lighthearted and humorous in a sense. So when I say SnyderVerse, I don't mean Zack Snyder produces every movie or directs every movie, but movies that feel like they would take place in the same universe. Like, let's look at Marvel, because they want to copy Marvel. The Russos have a different tone from James Gunn. Jon Favreau has a different tone from Peyton Reed. Like, the tones are still different, but it still feels like a shared universe. Like, they still make it possible where a more serious Marvel movie like Captain America the Winter Soldier takes place in the same universe as a more hilarious Marvel movie like Thor Ragnarok or Guardians of the Galaxy. SnyderVerse, I think, was doing that, or something similar to that. It's just their movies felt more mature than the MCU. But they want to rush stuff. And here's the thing, even if they're trying to copy from Marvel, they're not copying from the MCU. Wonder Woman 1984, while I did enjoy that movie, but it has a lot of faults, felt similar to The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is not an MCU movie. It's a Sony Marvel movie. But it just felt similar to that movie. It didn't even feel like an MCU movie. So if they're trying to borrow from Marvel, they're not borrowing from the correct Marvel movies even. Like, they got a lot of potential and they're trying to throw it away. And now there's rumors of the Civil War, like HBO Max wants to continue this. Jason Kilar, the CEO of Warner Media, or head of Warner Media, has been very impressed. But the Ann Sarnoffs of the world, the Walter Hamada's, who is the president of DC Movies, wants to do their own thing. It's just very messy right now. And I feel like the Flash movie shouldn't erase the SnyderVerse. It should open the door where SnyderVerse is still a thing, but you have a universe with other characters, or some things are still happening, the door is still open, but killing off the SnyderVerse or trying to erase the SnyderVerse, it's just not going to do anything. It's just going to make fans angry. And you don't want to run into a situation where if you're Ann Sarnoff and Walter Hamada, you become seen as worse than Kathleen Kennedy from Star Wars. Now, I don't hate Kathleen Kennedy. I've enjoyed some of her Star Wars movies. I like Force Awakens. I love Rogue One. I have no problems with The Last Jedi. I enjoyed Last Jedi. I was never on that Last Jedi hate bandwagon. I enjoyed Solo. Rise of Skywalker was, it was okay, but it should have been a lot more. And I've had my criticisms of Kathleen Kennedy. I don't think she's like the worst person in Hollywood or the worst person in the world, though. But that could possibly start happening with Ann Sarnoff and Walter Hamada. I don't think they're terrible people. I don't want anything bad on them. But there are some fans that are going to start seeing them as the next Kathleen Kennedy or Walter Hamada. So instead of trying to dismiss stuff, just say we could leave the door open. We want to see how the numbers are more. Just writing it off like right after Zack Snyder's Justice League, it just leaves a bad taste in our mouths. Especially when after Wonder Woman 1984 came out right away, despite the mixed response, Wonder Woman 3 was greenlit. And I want to see a Wonder Woman 3, but I'm just saying, the point is, they greenlit different stuff when the reception is a little different. It's just not a smart strategy that they're doing. I think they could continue the SnyderVerse while giving us more movies that are different in tone. Like I said, I am excited to see a Blue Beetle movie eventually, a Static Shock movie. They don't have to be Snyder tone, but at least conclude some of the Zack Snyder's movies. Like, they keep talking about a Batgirl movie happening in the future. Ben Affleck's Batman movie was going to introduce Batgirl. And if they were serious about killing Ben Affleck off in Justice League 3, then that's the perfect way to set up a Batgirl film series. Have her introduced in Ben Affleck's Batman vs. Deathstroke movie. And then when Ben Affleck's Batman does eventually die in Snyder's Justice League movies, if that's what they really want to do, then that's how you can lead into Batgirl movies. They have the opportunity. They can conclude Snyder's movies the right way by greenlighting, some of these movies. But just throwing it under the bus isn't going to do much good. Just trying to sweep it, throw it away, focus on other stuff, ignoring it, you're just going to get fans annoyed. I don't get easily annoyed, so I'm not going to be one of those angry fans. I'm still going to go see DC movies because I like superhero movies in general. I love Marvel. I love DC. But I know there's going to be a lot of fans that might boycott, that are going to be angry. So don't erase the Snyderverse. At the very least, keep the door open and say, well, we might leave the door open. Or say, you never know what the future holds in store. Don't just say, we're done and over with. Zack Snyder still has 2 more movies in his story arc that we haven't seen yet. And if they're HBO Max exclusives, I would like to see them. I think you got a lot of potential with the Snyderverse. You have a lot of potential. I think, if they want to go into the nightmare stuff like Snyder keeps saying, hey, it looks really cool based on what we've seen in Batman v Superman and at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League. So, yeah, I support Restore the Snyderverse. I don't want to go over the top and say, boycott this movie or that movie, because the movies look really good. The Suicide Squad looks amazing. The Batman looks amazing. That's not even in the DC EU. And I'm excited to see what Dwayne Johnson can do with Black Adam. And some of the other movies that have confirmed release dates. It's just, we just also want to see Snyder's vision be fully seen. I'm not just talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League. Just give us Justice League 2 and 3. A Cyborg solo film, a pure Flash solo film. I'm looking forward to the Flash movie, if it is Flashpoint. Although my excitement's starting to dwindle, not just because of the fears of it erasing the Snyderverse, but Michael Keaton looks unsure to returning right now. And that was the major hype thing, Michael Keaton returning as Batman in The Flash. And since that's looking unsure right now, that's going to take some hype away. But yeah, they can give us these movies, and they can also continue Snyder's movies. I think the best way could be to continue this on HBO Max. But who knows? But you want to get Zack Snyder now, because it looks like studios are looking into him. Netflix, he's got Army of the Dead coming out on Netflix. They might want to ask him for more movies like that. There's rumors he might do a King Arthur movie, so you got to make that decision now, because eventually Snyder's not going to be available. Anyways, guys, those are just my thoughts on Restore the Snyderverse. If it should happen, who supports it, who doesn't. I'm for it, but I'm looking forward to some of these other DC EU movies. I just hope Flash doesn't erase Snyder's movies, because Man of Steel was amazing. Batman v Superman has flaws, but I still think it's a good movie. It's aged better over time, in my opinion. And Zack Snyder's Justice League was just phenomenal. That should be DC EU canon, not Justice League. Anyways, I know this was a longer video than I usually do, but I feel like there's a lot to say about Restore the Snyderverse. And yes, I do support David Ayer getting his full-fledged Suicide Squad, his full-fledged vision eventually shown. Who knows? Maybe they'll show it before James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie comes out. It'd be a good promotion for the movie. And James Gunn supports David Ayer. He has no problem with the Ayer cut being released. So if that's the case, then by all means, let's go for it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I know this was a longer video, but I feel like there's a lot to talk about with the Snyderverse and restoring it. And again, they have so much potential, but for some reason they just don't want to do it. Hopefully they'll do it. Anyways, I hope to make more videos soon. I do want to make a video on the rumors surrounding Spider-Man No Way Home. Hopefully I'll see Godzilla vs. Kong either tomorrow or Thursday to give you a review on that. Maybe I'll do a review for another movie that I just recently watched. Anyways, if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please subscribe to my channel. And hope to see you guys next time. Take care. Peace.